Hey guys, good evening. Welcome to your Mini-Yin. I wanted to put Mini-Yinny, but I was like, no. Some people might be like, what's a Yinny? But this is just going to be a nice, sweet little yin practice tonight. Get you in and out and on your way. So go ahead and grab a block. If you don't have a block, it's okay. Just emulate the things that I do with the distance between your feet or your hands or your back or whatever. You could use a pillow because we are just going to use this for support and also for a little bit of pressure. Or you could use something, just handy. If you have a weight, if you have a pasta box, just anything that you have that's handy. Okay, sound good? All right, so we're going to start out in our first position, which is going to be butterfly. And I want your feet further away from you than they normally would be. So more like a diamond shape than a butterfly. You're going to take the block and place it in between your feet on the skinny setting. And then I'm just going to tip the camera down so you guys can see my little feeties in case you got confused. Sorry for all the background noise today. We have a lot going on. All right, so block in the feet far away from you, so it looks more like a diamond than it does butterfly. And the diamond, I want the two knees to be the furthest points out, not between the groin and the feet, right? So not way out here diamond, but this be the furthest points of the diamond. Make sense? I know it does. And then we're going to crawl ourselves forward, and as you do, just take it to where your body allows you to go. You don't have to get your head down or fold completely. You could even be upright like this. But what I want you to do is get into a position that you can hold, all right? So we're going to start to take some deep breaths in and out through your nose. So in through the nose, seal your lips together, and then out through the nose. In through the nose, and out through the nose. In through the nose, see if you can slow the breathing down a bit. So taking a little bit longer each time to take the breath in. And then as you exhale, taking a little bit more time to let the breath go. And so as we're just starting out here, as you're starting to just settle in, if you want to sway your upper body side to side, just kind of check out what's going on in the side waist back here where the kidneys are. If you have both of your kidneys, that's the area that we're thinking about. And if you find yourself getting lower and lower, cool, just go with it. If you're still up here just because of the length of your muscles in your back, maybe you've had a hard day, hard week, and so you're extra tight, don't worry about it. Stay where you are comfortably able to just breathe. And then after you've found your sway side to side, I want you to find stillness again and go ahead and close down your eyes. Start to make this practice internally a way for you to connect with yourself, to connect with silence, a way to connect with your intentions. And you're going to notice that the mind right away starts to sort things and put things in their place, and that's the brain's job. That's what it does, and thank goodness it works as well as it does to be able to allow you the space to recognize things. But our job when we're doing these practices, where we're focusing on the breath, we're focusing on using the breath as a way to move tension out, using the yoga poses as a way to excavate old injuries or emotions that are trapped. When we're doing this, our job is to recognize when our thoughts carry us away. Right? So you might notice that all of a sudden you're thinking about what you're going to eat later, or maybe an argument that you had, or a situation in your life, maybe something exciting. And all that we want to do is just make sure that we don't get caught up in a story. We recognize the thought, and then we come back, we return to the breath. So as we keep going, I'm going to talk less and less. And in those bits of silence, those gaps, I want you to really honor yourself by taking the time to breathe, recognize what is important in the moment, and let go of those thoughts. Maybe you've been here for about 2 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. We're going to start to bring ourselves upright, so just slow and steady, one hand at a time. Bring your upper torso back upright. Take your block out from between your feet, just set it off to the side, hands on the outsides of the knees. Bring the knees together and then just rock yourself back. Walk your heels as close as you can to your butt. Make your spine really super tall. So I'm going to turn to the side now just in case that visual is helpful. So the spine is really nice and tall. Now with your strong arms, pull on your knees, push your breastplate up. So think of doing a cow pose, but upright on your butt bones. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, draw your low belly in, curl your tailbone in, bring your chin in, think of a cat pose. And then again, strong arms, pull on your knees, lift your heart as high as you can. Pull your shoulder blades way back into the back of your heart. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, curl yourself into that cat pose, and we'll hold this one. And what I want you to do as you're breathing in and out, I want you to allow the air to really puff up the back body as much as you can. So breathe in a way where you're expanding your torso so much in the back body ribs that you feel expansive in between the shoulder blades. You feel expansive down in the low back from your effort. 3 more breaths. Pull that belly in. 2 more breaths. 1 more. And then just bring yourself upright. Slide your legs out in front of you. Lay yourself all the way down onto your back. Let your right leg come straight up to the ceiling. Take your hands behind your right hamstring. So we're going to ease into this hamstring stretch. So both hands basket weave behind the right hamstring. And then I want you to just pulse the hamstring. So you're using your arms to gently just tug on the back of your leg. You might not have a whole lot of movement there. You may have tons of movement. Just be where you are and happy that you're here. Let the hands come up a little bit higher, right below the knee. Keep tugging gently. And then take your hands to your highest potential. I want you to take 6 thoughtful tugs. And then on the 6th one, you'll bend your elbows and stay just where you are. Close down your eyes. Feel every sensation in your right leg for what it is without judgment or trying to fix or force. Just feel it. You might have some shaking going on, and that's great. Allow the mind to be still. And the body to be still. Now while your lower half stays exactly the same, don't change anything about the shape of where your legs and arms are. Draw your chin as deep down into your chest as you can, so you get length down the back of your neck. I mean super long, almost like you're trying to tip the back of your head up, yeah? And then don't change anything except start to allow your chin to come back up towards the ceiling, and then tip your chin up as high as you can. So put a deep, deep curve into your upper neck. Let your shoulder blades press down into the mat underneath you. And then just notice how your hamstring just gave you a couple more inches to tug gently. So we're opening up the whole back body line. That's the reason for the extra release. Now we'll let the left hand come to the left hip. The right hand stays on the right leg. Gently guide the right leg over to the right. Now as you're going over there, I want your elbow to come down and your hand stay on your leg. So if that means sliding down towards the knee, do that. Otherwise, just keep it there and take it to your own degree over to the right. Flex hard through your right foot and then start to squeeze your left thigh down to the floor. So activate that area. Press your shoulder blades down into the mat. Stay here for 3 more breaths. Just in stillness. Stillness of mind and body. And then we'll bring the leg up to the center. Just slide the hand in to bring it up. Point and flex through your ankle. So push the toes away and then pull the toes back. And then floint. So like push through the ball mound of the foot and then pull the toes back vigorously. Now go ahead and let the foot relax. Circle the ankle around. Circle it the opposite direction. Bend the right knee. Extend the knee away, but don't set the foot down. And then bring the leg back up. Extend it away, don't set the foot down, and then bring it back up. One more time, extend it away, and then bring it back up. Left hand to the outside of the right knee, twist. Take the leg all the way across the body as far as you can. Once you get where you're going, you could, if you wanted to make this nicer, just take that block and place it under your knee. That way you can completely just let go of trying to force the knee down. Otherwise, what you can do is just breathe and see if when you're exhaling, that you can let go of so much tension, eventually the knee gets to the floor. Three more breaths. 2 more. 1 more. And then bring the knee back up. One more time, I just want you to keep the knee there. Let's take some circles through the hip joint. Go internal first, so counterclockwise, I think. Is that counter? Yeah. And then go clockwise. Big breaths in and out, releasing whatever nuggets you may have found or come across in there. And then extend the leg out long. Take a moment here, just shake out your legs. A couple deep breaths. And then we'll switch sides. So bend the left leg up, situate your hips so you feel nice and stable. Draw the left leg in, hands behind the hamstring towards the butt, yeah? And then bend the elbows and just pulse that sucker. And then slide the hands closer to the knee. Continue to pulse. Nice and steady. Then we'll slide the hands up beyond the knee. And then to their highest potential, and I want you to pull 6 times. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then give it stillness, right? So keep the elbows bent. Just breathe. Now keep your lower half exactly the same. Draw your chin down deep into your chest as deeply as you can. Lengthening out the back of the neck muscles. And then let's tip the chin up. And as you tip the chin up, lift it as high as it'll go. Slide your shoulder blades down and notice if you get any hidden inches out of your hamstring. No big deal if it doesn't move at all. You're not broken, I promise. Now allow your head to just be normal and neutral. Hold and breathe here for 3, 2, 1 more. Now let your left leg come out to the left. We'll bend the elbow to set the elbow down so that the leg can go over there. I obviously have a wall here, so I'm going to scooch on over so I can still have some space. So make any adjustments that you need to. Now as you're moving over, squeeze your right leg super strong so that you can get deep into the hip socket. Deep breaths in and out. Two more inhales and exhales. One more. And then bring your leg up to the middle. Now pause right here. Point the foot. And then flex hard through the toes. Push the heel away. And then floint. So point through the ball mound, pulling the toes back towards you. And then circle that sucker around. Circle the ankle the other direction. Oops. For some reason counterclockwise on the left is like totally a mistake. Okay, now pull the leg out away from you a little bit. And then bring it back in. Pull it out and away. Bring it back in. One more time, pull it out and away. And then bring that sucker back in. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Allow it to cross the body completely. Now if you wanted to, place the block under your knee. Go for that. And make any adjustments as you need to for your space, right? So if you're getting going and you're like, I don't have enough room, just move. Move yourself. I think something bit me. So you get for leaving the windows open all day, there's no telling. Big, deep, rinsing breaths in and out through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth if you feel like you need to release something, but make it worthwhile, right? Like exhale like you mean it. Now bring your leg back up to the center. Use your right hand now. Guide the knee back up. And then circle the leg around. Reverse the direction. Just lubricating the joint. And then set the foot down. Draw your right leg up to meet your left. So both feet on the ground. Now you're going to get your block or your prop, your pillow, whatever, for this one. Slide it underneath your butt, okay? So what I'm doing here is putting it underneath like the big part of my pelvic bone, yeah? And feeling really nice and stable on it. So get on it and make any adjustments that you need to. Once you lift your feet off the floor, which is the next step, draw your knees up. Your high knee should be off the block just like maybe an inch or two, depending on the size of your high knee. Mine is like 4 inches. All right, legs straight up for waterfall pose. So this is a wonderful inversion that's super gentle. Once you get your legs straight up, if you feel like you need to change anything to be more comfortable, then change it. Now I want you to stretch your arms up overhead, bend your elbows and grab your elbows. Keep your toes. See, I told you lots of stuff happening. Pull your toes back towards your shins. Push your heels away. Here's the good news, everybody. We'll be back in the studio next week. So, I think videos will keep going, but in the studio will be way better. Keep breathing deeply. Keep pulling your toes back towards your shins. Don't give up. Point through the ball mounds of your feet, pulling your toes back towards you. Squeeze the quadriceps into the bone. And then bend the knees. Set your feet flat on the floor. And then slowly, one at a time, start to extend your legs. If that doesn't feel comfy, then just pick your feet back up. Extend your arms overhead long. Continue to breathe. And just allow yourself to melt over your block. This will be the last pose that we do, so take full advantage of this opportunity. Now that the mind has been cleared from consistent breathing and focusing, I want you to take full advantage of this time to really recognize that stillness that you created, that space between the breaths and that space between the thoughts. If anything starts to feel uncomfortable, just change the shape. But make sure you're doing so out of an honoring of your body rather than it being just boredom or fidgeting. Three more breaths here. Now before we change anything at all whatsoever, I want you to bring your attention now to your hands. And I want you to notice the energy in the palms of your hands. So we've reversed the normal flow of blood by taking the legs up and then taking this juicy back bend and having the hips lifted. So there is that physical effect happening, but there's also the pathways of energy that have been just aided in removing obstruction of their flow. So notice this energy. And if there's any area on your body that you feel could use a little bit of extra healing today, we're going to take the hands and place them on that part. So bend your knees, set your feet flat, keep your hands energized. Keep them energized. Now take your energized hands as slowly as you can to that space of healing. Slowly as you can, continue to feel that power in the palms of your hands. Place your hands wherever that is. You might be your knees. So you might want to bend the leg and pull the knee up, or both knees. Whatever the case is for you. It's maybe you can only reach it with one. Tap into the power that you have within your own body to provide space, to provide nurturing, to provide the positive energy to allow your body to be able to do its thing to bring about a positive change. Healing is such a tricky word to use on the internet. But I think if we all learned how to use these powers that we have, that we were blessed to be born with, the world would be a much different place. Much more different. Maybe I'd even have better English. Now allow your hands to release from wherever they were. Pick your butt up. Remove your implement. Take a moment. Just let your back lie flat. Roll onto your left side this evening. So I want you to roll onto your left side so your heart is near the floor. And then slowly bring your body to an upright seat, nice and easy. Once you're upright, just crisscross the legs, close down your eyes for a moment, sit up nice and tall. Recognize the space that you created in your body. Recognize that that will create space throughout the rest of your day, your week, your evening, for as long as you are present to that. For as long as you're making the conscious decision to stay in this nice, comfortable pace of less reactivity, less habitual patterns, more in a place of presence and observance, the betterment of all. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Let me know if you have any questions. Namaste.